You're watching the Stetson Law Channel. Welcome to Stetson Law Live, an online, interactive, informational event for prospective students of Stetson University College of Law. On our show today, Katie C. Bright, JR Swanegan. Our topic today, the LLM in international law.
Hi, thank you so much for joining us today to learn more about Stetson Law's International LLM program. My name is Katie Bright, and I'm the Assistant Director of International and Graduate Admissions. I work with students on their applications, so I can answer any questions you have about the program, about applications, and I can help you through that process. If you're interested in setting up a campus tour or a Skype call to learn more about the program, I can help you through that as well. I'm joined today by my colleague, JR Swanegan.
Hi, thanks, Katie. My name is JR Swanegan. I serve as the Assistant Dean of International and Graduate Programs here at Stetson University College of Law. As you can see, we're enjoying another beautiful day over my shoulder here in this city where we have 340 days of sunshine per year. But we're looking forward to spending some time with you today to talk to you about our International LLM program, answer any questions that you may have, and just share with you some of the really unique and exciting opportunities that present themselves with our program in international law.
All right, well, let's get the slide up. So first, we want to talk to you guys about what an international LLM is and why students can benefit from this program. So, JR, why don't you take that?
And I'd like to jump into that, but before I do, I just want to alert you to the slide that you see here. We are very proud as a university to be consistently ranked as the #1 institution in trial advocacy by U.S. News and World Report, and currently ranked as the #2 institution in legal writing. Two of the barometers for success of any attorney are the ability to be able to be persuasive and the ability to be able to write and communicate effectively, two areas where Stetson has had a long-standing strength. We are also Florida's first and oldest law school, and we think that that lends itself well to opportunities for students interested in their international LLM with us here at Stetson University College of Law. Stetson just celebrated its 20th anniversary of the International LLM program this year, and we're excited for many, many years to come of the program. We have students from over 55 countries that have participated in the program. And what is the benefit of the program, as Katie had just suggested? Our students, an LLM program, and an LLM is a Master's of Law in Legal Studies primarily for students who have been foreign trained attorneys interested in a Master's in learning about the intersection of law, international law, and U.S. law. But we've seen an increasing number of students in the JD program that are from JD programs who are interested as well in obtaining a greater understanding of international law and how it cross-sects with U.S. law. The benefits of obtaining this type of degree are providing a professional enhancement for both JD students who are looking for a deeper dive into international law, as well as international students interested in enhancing their credentials. It provides for those international students whose first language isn't English, the opportunity to be able to spend a year working with U.S. law students and JD students, working on your English language skills, including your legal language skills. And it provides an opportunity to be able to create a network of international lawyers, as well as U.S. lawyers or soon-to-be lawyers, in providing the opportunity to be able to network with those individuals as you make your way further in your career.
All right, so what do students typically do after they earn their LLM degree?
Well, as I had suggested earlier, we've had our International LLM program at Stetson for 20 years this year, and we have had students that have participated in the program from over 55 countries. And so with that, there is the opportunities and the tracks that individuals have taken are as broad and diverse as the students who have participated in the program. We have students who have gone on to become judges in their home country. We have students who have become academics. We have a current alum who is teaching in The Hague at a university in The Hague in law. We have individuals who work for nonprofit organizations or NGOs who work as prosecutors in their home countries or abroad. And also those students who sit for a bar exam and are interested in practicing law in the U.S. There is an opportunity for students to be able to sit for a bar exam in certain jurisdictions. And we do place that responsibility on the students to figure out what the requirements are for practice in the U.S. or being able to at least sit for a bar exam. But the options and opportunities are endless. We have a current alum who came to us from South Korea several years back and is now working for the General Counsel's office for LG in the General Counsel's office in Atlanta, and another student who recently worked for the General Counsel's office for Porsche in Atlanta. So again, lots of great opportunities for students to be able to pursue their passions and their interests in the field of law and beyond.
All right, now we're going to talk a little bit more about the required curriculum. If you can throw that slide back up. So when we have students come in, we really like for students to be able to tailor their experiences. So for example, if you're more interested in environmental law, we can work with you there. However, there are a few classes that we require of each student. So for international students, when they come in, we do require classes that are focused on how to learn in the United States. So for example, we do United States legal systems, United States research and writing, and this will really get students ready to learn more about what it takes to succeed in a U.S. classroom. We also require international law and an international litigation and arbitration course. These are really great opportunities to kind of get the fundamentals of the international law practice down while still being able to tailor your own curriculum. So we actually have a few different electives that we let our students take, and there are a few different emphasis programs as well. So JR, do you want to talk more about the emphasis programs?
I'd love to, but I'd like to jump in just for a moment to speak about the course curriculum as well. So as Katie had suggested, we do require the U.S. Legal Systems course and the U.S. Research and Writing course. For students watching this webinar right now that already have a JD, you would be able to waive out of those courses, and we would supplement those courses with other courses that you haven't already taken in your JD program. But those are courses that are otherwise required of our foreign trained lawyers in the program. Another thing that I think is really unique about the program here at Stetson is that our students, although they start as a cohort, and we'll talk a little bit more about our U.S. Legal Systems course and the orientation that occurs in the summer, our students have the opportunity to be able to sit in the classes and study in the classes and work in the classes with our JD students. And so we feel like it's a real benefit to our students when they are expanding their network, when they are learning from other students in the program, not to separate them out or segment them away from our broader population, but to really draw them into the community as a whole. And so this is a program that will allow for you to be able to interact with other LLM students, JD students, and even students in our Masters of Jurisprudence programs in learning together and bringing your diversity of experiences and background to the classroom to ultimately enhance the educational experience. But as we had discussed, we also have some unique options available for our international emphasis program within the LLM program. Two specifically that are options. We have an international environmental option as well as an international business option. With both of those programs, you have the capacity, or you apply to the program by completing an essay, a one-page essay explaining why you're interested in participating in the program. You would receive a notation on your degree at the end of the program that you had earned the international concentration or international emphasis in environmental or business law. What this means is that you will work one-on-one and closely with a faculty mentor. So one of the things that we often hear from our international students is that the courses are much bigger than what they experience here at Stetson and much less personal. What we have found in our programs, and what has been a real draw and a real exciting opportunity for our international students specifically, is the opportunity to be able to work one-on-one with a faculty member. We have what is considered an open door policy. Many of our students aren't familiar with this, but if you have questions after class or questions that come up, you can go in and speak with your faculty member about those questions, and really being able to engage with individuals who who are experts in their specific area, speaking to them about topics of interest to you, and creating a mentorship. So with the concentration program specifically, or the emphasis program specifically, you would be paired with a faculty mentor. This is someone who will work with you over the course of the year and helping you to select your courses, work with you to discuss study strategies. There will be opportunities to be able to do small group discussion on readings that are relevant to you. There may be opportunities to judge competitions. So we host the International Environmental Moot Court each year, and there's an opportunity to judge the students in that competition that are participating. There may be an opportunity to team teach courses or publish a paper. But with all of those, what the goal in the end is to be able to provide a bridge and an opportunity to have a mentorship with a faculty member who has an interest and expertise in the specific space of either international environmental law or international business law.
Thank you. So a little bit more to piggyback off that, we really work with our students to make sure that they have externship opportunities. So depending on what you're interested in is how we will place you. Stetson Law's LLM is actually ranked top for career opportunities based on U.S. News Report. So JR, could you talk a little bit more about the type of externships that previous students have done?
Sure. So another one of the really unique opportunities that's available are available to our international LLM students is a required externship. And so what that means is in the spring semester of the academic year, we will work with each of our students to find a placement in a legal office, a non-governmental organization, a business, a nonprofit organization, where the students will get hands-on opportunity to be able to learn what law and the practice of law is like in the U.S. We work with each of our students and gauge what your interests are throughout the course of the fall semester to figure out where we will be able to find the most appropriate or best fit for the students in thinking about what will be the most impactful for the students in being able to work. And then the students spend between 5 and 10 hours a week working in a law office locally. There are a lot of factors we take into consideration: the student's interest, where the program is located, if you have transportation. But we've had some really amazing opportunities over the past several years, and even further back than that, for our students to be able to work for the General Counsel's Office for Ironman. If you're familiar with the triathlon, the Ironman triathlon, we've had students work there. We've had students work for an organization or a business called Anchor Glass, learning about international business law. For Jabil Circuit, another Fortune 500 company in the area. We've had students working for nonprofit or non-governmental organizations where there's a focus on human rights or human trafficking. So really, wherever your interest lies, we will work with you to find a placement that is one where you'll get real, valuable experience, understand what legal work is like in the U.S., and be able to compare and contrast that to your international experience or the work that you have done prior to joining us here at Stetson.
And I think that it's really valuable, having a smaller class size and being at a smaller school. We can really work with students individually to make sure that they're getting the experience that they want out of their U.S. Legal education. And on that note, most international students have never lived in the United States before. We have students from all over the world, like we talked about. And moving to the Tampa Bay area is definitely a transition. As you can see from our backdrop, it is a beautiful campus. The area is beautiful. We are about 2 miles from the beach. So when you're not studying, we have students like to hang out on the beach. So once you are applied and admitted, our office works really closely with students to make sure that they are getting campus housing. So we know that it might be hard coming from a different country, trying to figure out where you're going to live. Our office helps you take care of that. We have dorms on campus where students can live, which is really convenient because you can walk to class, show up, 5 minutes before class. We also have houses that Stetson owns off campus that are all still walkable to class. And our office works with students to do that. There's also an abundance of student life on campus. We have many student organizations depending on what you're most interested in. For example, we have an environmental law society, if that's what you're interested in, or a business law society. It's a really great way for international students to meet with students who have the same interests as them, and also to meet with people who maybe are from America or from a different culture. And it's a really great way to get a sense of community. We also have intramurals on campus, so it's a fun way to blow off steam after studying. We have students who like to play soccer or softball after class, and it's a really great way to just blow steam off and before you have to go back to the library to start studying again. JR, why don't you talk more about living in the Tampa Bay area and what kind of amenities we have for students who would want to have a little fun on top of studying?
Sure. And I think just to sort of echo Katie's sentiment, I think one of the things that you will find if you pursue an LLM here at Stetson University College of Law is that we really do have a personal touch. We really do care about our students. Our LLM program is typically 15 to 20 students per year, so we really get to know each of you closely. We get to understand what your career goals are, what your goals for your year here at Stetson are. And there are, as Katie had suggested, over 50 student organizations available to find some outlet for you to be able to, when you're not in class and behind the books, figure out a way to be able to use some of your time in building leadership skills and really engaging with the community as a whole. And as an international LLM student, we consider you students the same as any other student in the program and really like you to get involved, whether it be the SBA, the Student Bar Association, and student government, or those other activities that Katie had already suggested. But if I can stand, or maybe Katie, would you mind bringing up the next slide? Do we have some pictures of our the living in the Tampa Bay area? We pop that forward for me for just a second. So you can see here we have some photos of the Tampa Bay area. I suggested earlier that we are considered the Sunshine City, St. Petersburg, Florida, and we have typically about 345 to 350 days of sunshine per year. If anyone is watching this from where the recent polar vortex is, we didn't deal with that ourselves. Cold days here are days that are highs in the 50s. And so it's a beautiful place to live. As Katie had suggested, we're really close to the beaches. It's a very active and outdoor sort of lifestyle. Many of you are very familiar with Florida as a location and maybe have visited Florida before. We're about 2 hours away from Orlando, where you're probably familiar with many of the theme parks, whether it's Disney or Universal. There are great opportunities, again, for the beaches that are there. There are a number of really wonderful beaches within a 10 to 15-minute drive of the institution. And then our campus as a whole is a beautiful location also. We are the first and oldest law school in the state of Florida. Our campus was originally built as a hotel and has been converted into the law school that we currently exist in. But it's a beautiful open campus, lots of sunshine, lots of palm trees. And being able to live, again, having the options to be able to live, whether it be in the residence halls or in one of the houses nearby. It's a very residential and walkable campus as well, and a really safe and kind and friendly community.
We also like to schedule some field trips with our LLM students. For example, our students just visited the Kennedy Space Center, which is a couple hours from Orlando. So we really try to make your experience as best that it can be. So now I'd like to move forward and talk about the admissions process a little bit. I think we have a slide for that. All right, so most of the students who apply for this program already have a foreign law degree. So that is an LL.B. So if you've decided that you're interested in Stetson, you want to live in this awesome Tampa Bay area, we're really excited about it. So we do have some admission requirements. So on our website, which is stetson.edu/law/international, there is an application form. So you have a couple of options. You can fill out your application form using a PDF and send it to our office's email address, or you can fill it out through LSAC, which is a law school admissions council that processes applications. It's totally up to you. There's currently no fee to apply. So once we get your application form, we also ask for a personal statement. So the personal statement is usually a couple of pages talking about your interest in international law and what brought you to Stetson. If you are applying for the emphasis program, we do ask for an additional personal statement describing your specific interest in that emphasis program. We do ask for all your official transcripts and your diplomas. If you got accepted, we would need to have those translated. We also ask for 2 letters of recommendation. We require a TOEFL or an IELTS score. In certain circumstances, we can waive the TOEFL score. So this will be on a case-by-case basis. But for example, some students studied at an institution where English was the primary language, for example, and that would allow us to waive your TOEFL score. But if you end up applying, it'd be great. We could work with you on a case-by-case basis for that. We also ask for your resume. And yeah, that's it. And once you are accepted, we do ask for a few more documents, especially if you're coming from a different country, just so that our office can work with you to get your visa situated. So now we're going to move on to talking about tuition and scholarships. And I believe we also have a slide for that. But JR, do you want to go over more about tuition fees?
Yes, and can you advance the slide for me? We have a tuition fees slide, right? And I wanted to add just quickly on to something that Katie had just suggested, is that with the TOEFL and IELTS score, we have the 6.5 and the 88 as our barometers or benchmarks for scores on those exams. We will also work with students on a case-by-case basis if you're close to those scores, and figure out if there's some way that we might be able to work with you, either by conducting a personal interview or looking at other things in your file or your background, if that is something that you're interested in. So again, we do have some flexibility there, but it may take a couple of additional meetings or conferences to be able to discuss that. Our tuition and fees for full-time, our tuition for the year is $43,384. For part-time, it's $29,976. We do have the option of either being a full-time or part-time. You have the option of either being full-time or part-time in the program. The program is primarily designed as a full-time program, which is a year-long program. 24 credit hours is the requirement for the program, in addition to the courses that Katie had suggested earlier that are the required courses, while you're able to backfill with those electives. But you could actually take up to 32 or 33 hours that for the same rate based on the semester and how things break out. And then you can see our student activity fee, which allows for access to the rec center and allows for the technology fee and some other fees, and the Student Bar Association fees are included. I will say, it's always a question for our students and our applicants, are there scholarships available? And the answer is yes. We do have merit scholarships available and try to be as generous as possible with outstanding students that apply to our program. We have partial scholarships available. Our largest scholarships are those that will offset the cost of the program by half. And so, again, if you are interested in scholarships, you'll need to complete our scholarship application form. We begin reviewing those scholarships in March of each year, and we will review those on a rolling basis through the close of the program, which comes as late as July. But if you're interested in the scholarships, do please complete the scholarship application form and the short essay explaining your interest, and we will do what we can to ensure that we can make the program as affordable as possible for interested and high-quality students.
We've mentioned this a couple of times, but I know that we have a 2-week orientation course that kind of gets our international students, oriented with the campus and what it's like to learn in a U.S. classroom. Can you talk a little bit more about the orientation course?
Yes. So our orientation course serves a dual purpose of being both the orientation and the required course, the U.S. legal systems course. So again, if you do not hold a JD, any student that has an LLB would be required to complete the U.S. legal systems course. It's a 3-credit-hour course. This year we will kick the course off on August 5th, and it will run 2 weeks. It meets for 3 hours a day. We focus on different topics related to U.S. law, any number of areas: contract law, tort law, property law, criminal law. In that course as well, we have a fair number of guest lecturers. So faculty members from our institution will come in and do lectures in their specific areas of interest. It's great for our students to be able to, one, get to know one another as a cohort, because after that, you will really be in the course of the larger courses with the entire community, but getting to know one another and really understanding what getting a feel for the campus, but also for those courses that might be of interest to you or the faculty members you'd like to work with when you're thinking about the elective courses that you'd like to take. And the other really neat thing that we do is build in some legal specific field trips with the program. So we'll provide transportation and we'll visit a courthouse or a few courthouses. We'll have the opportunity to interact with some judges, U.S. law judges, who will speak to us about what their work looks like and how their days are structured. And we also have the opportunity to visit the Pinellas County Jail and Criminal Justice Center and have an opportunity to learn a greater deal about what criminal justice looks like in the U.S. system and in our area specifically. So it's a great opportunity to, one, again, acclimate to campus before the start of the academic year for the JD students and broader population, an opportunity to be able to interact and meet with your colleagues in the LLM program, and also an opportunity to get a closer sort of one-on-one experience with your faculty members who will be coming in to guest lecture in the program.
All right, thank you so much. Now we'd love to hear from you what specific questions that you have about our LLM program. While we wait for some questions to come in, I'll start with a couple of our frequently asked questions. A lot of our international LLM students want to know whether or not they can study abroad. Stetson has a really great study abroad program with about 5 different programs that we offer. JR, do you want to talk a little bit more about students participating in the study abroad?
Sure. So our office also manages, as Katie had suggested, a number of different study abroad options. And so in the summers, we host a program in Granada, Spain. We host a program in The Hague in the Netherlands, 4-week program. A new program in Cape Town, South Africa, a 4-week program. And then also a 2-week program in Oxford in the UK at St. Hugh's College, and it focuses on advocacy, which is one of Stetson's strengths. We are ranked consistently #1 in the country in training in advocacy, so the power of persuasion and trial skills. And the short answer to the question that Katie posed is, are our students eligible to participate in these programs? And the answer is yes. You can earn credit studying abroad in these summer programs. We also have a Cayman Islands program that typically focuses on tax law or maritime law that runs during the winter intersession. And we have a program that we run over spring break that the location changes, but this year we'll be running in Ireland, where students are eligible to participate in those programs as well. So all of the programs are open and available to our students that are interested in participating, and we'll work with you, again, in a personalized manner to be able to provide those opportunities for our students.
We've talked a lot about international students coming to campus, but a question that we get a lot is whether or not American citizens sit for the LLM. And that's a good question, and absolutely, we have American students every year in the cohort for the International LLM. And it's a really great opportunity for people who want to enhance their law degree or who want to really get into this international niche area of law. It really makes you more employable. It's a really good opportunity for American JD students as well. Another question we have coming in is whether or not the LLM qualifies students to sit for the bar exam. And I think JR had mentioned that a lot of our LLM students do end up sitting for the New York bar exam. And with the New York bar exam, students are able to practice federal law across the state. So if you wanted to stay in Florida, for example, and practice federal immigration law, and you took and passed the New York bar exam, that is something that's possible.
And if I could just add for a moment, so as Katie had suggested, and as I maybe referenced earlier, there are a number of jurisdictions, I think at last count 25 or 26 jurisdictions, which means 25 or 26 states, that will allow for a student with a foreign law degree and an LLM and some additional requirements to be able to sit for a bar exam. So the short answer is the LLM may and can allow for you to sit for the bar exam in certain situations, but we do require that the students figure out on their own what the requirements of the jurisdiction that they're interested in sitting for the bar exam are. And it does allow for certain opportunity to be able to practice in the U.S. or enhance a credential, and if your interest ultimately is practicing internationally, having a license, it never hurts.
All right, it looks like we have time for one more question. Another really popular question we get is whether or not our office helps situate students with the correct visas so that they can stay and study in this country. And the short answer is yes. There's someone in our office who manages and helps out with students to make sure that they're getting their visas. Do you have anything for that?
No, I think that's, sure I do have, I just maybe briefly. So our office will work with you to be able to provide an invitation, to be able to provide the appropriate documents for your immigration services and the appropriate visa. What's required from our end is that you apply to the program as Katie had suggested earlier through our application process. Once you're admitted to the program, that will trigger for us the appropriate levers to reach out to you and get the appropriate documents together that you'll then be able to work in obtaining your visa to be able to be here with us. And so what I will suggest is if you are an international student that happens to be in an international location, it's best and most appropriate to apply for the program sooner than later. Our applications are actually open through the end of July, but if you are coming to us from abroad, it would be best, in our view, for you to apply for the program by June 1 to ensure that we're able to process your visa appropriately and ensure that you can start by our August 5th deadline, or the August 5th start of the orientation. But again, if the applications are open and ready now, so if you are interested, we encourage you to apply soon and look forward to working with you in the next academic year or beyond.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us today. If you have any further questions or want to reach out to our office at all, you can send us an email. It's just international@law.stetson.edu. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching Stetson Law Live. For your convenience, our contact information will remain on the screen for the next few minutes.